Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the America Guns and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As always, this is just an open chat. It's a conversation between me and my viewers. If you've got any questions for me, ask them. You have any topics you want me to discuss, suggest them. I will try to address everything. Doesn't have to be gun related. Just has to be something that people like you and me might be interested in. So let me know what you want to know. And like I said, if you ask me a technical question and I don't know the answer to it, pay attention to the live chat. Someone in there probably will know. So pay attention, and don't only pay attention, but participate, build a sense of community. That's one of the reasons we do this every day, so that everybody has a place to come every day where they get to, at least for an hour, talk to like-minded individuals about common interests. So take advantage. Why did that not go silent when I hit silent earlier? But as I was saying, open chat, so get the questions going. Now, I like to start by reading the names of people who have bought merchandise over the last 24 hours that helps support pets and vets, like my Be a Sheepdog, Not a Sheep shirt here that I mentioned in my video earlier today. A lot of people ask me why I made this. I don't believe in that whole mentality of just because I carry a gun means I'm somehow the self-appointed protector of everybody else. That's not why I made this. I made this because I think all of us need to be sheepdogs of our rights, our way of life, our country's sincerity. So that's why I did the Be a Sheepdog, Not a Sheep. Don't just go along. Don't be one of those, well, normally I'd think that's horrible, but since someone I like did it, I'll just justify it. Don't be like that. Always be vigilant. Don't got any orders to read today, so we'll just move on here. And I do want to give you a little spiel before we get started. Remember, this is a restricted channel. So if you want to get notified by videos from me or know when I go live, all these other things, you got to go over to my channel, which there's a link in the upper corner. You got to go over there and you got to subscribe. And then you got to go over to the notifications and turn them on. You can turn them on for all or some of my videos. Turn them on for all. You don't want to miss a chance to call me a dumbass or, gay or whatever you want to call me. So turn them on, turn on the notifications for all of them. So go over, subscribe, turn on those notifications. That's the only way you'll know what's going on because, like I said, this is a restricted channel. Help us fight back against anti-2A sentiment on YouTube. Also, if you want to support the channel, go on over to TYMPpistolproject.com. That's my website. It's also in the upper corner. Buy yourself merch like this and support TYMPP. There's all kinds of merch over there. There's a link you can get to my Shopify store. If you want to support pets and vets, you can join Patreon. That's the best way to support the channel. If you want to join something a little more gun-friendly than Patreon, maybe you got a problem with them because of something some gun channel once told you that wasn't true, go to Subscribestar. Subscribestar supports TYMPP, but there is one tier over on Subscribestar that does support the pets and vets. That is the Fur Friends Defender tier, and that you do get a special series of patches for being a member of that tier. And on a Patreon, you can get the special deputy and posse patches, or you can get the mouse gun patch. Very rare patch here, only made 25 of them. So if you want one of these, go over, sign up at the mouse guns level on Patreon and support the Pets and Vets program. With that spiel all done, let's get on with the video today. And I know people will fast forward through that. If I could find a way to make a marker to where people could fast forward through it, I know there's a way to do it on YouTube. I just don't know how, but I would do it to help you. I always watch people's ads. I want to try to help their channel as much as possible. Like I even went and ordered a Street Beefs t-shirt the other day because it has Sasquatch on it and it supports Street Beefs. I like watching rednecks hit each other in the face. And some of that's right here in Oregon. It's right up. Which one is it? It's the shipyard or something like that. The scrap yard is right here in Washington. So I should go up and watch one. But as I was saying, let's get on with chat here. Let me see if we got any questions coming in over on the PayPals. What is today? Today is the 12th. Let's see if there's anything over here. We got Sean Bain chiming in. Sean Bain chimed in. He got interest into the knife drawing, which remember today we're giving away the SRKC. If you haven't seen it before, let me get it held right to where I'm not going to cut myself open in it. Very nice knife from Cold Steel. I'm giving this away today thanks to Daniel Pennant. So get yourself up and do a donation to the Pets and Vets Fund of $5 or more. Get your question read and get entered to win one of these knives, which I cut myself with earlier. I won't send you the one I cut myself with if you don't want it. Or if that's the one you want specifically, I'll send you that one. All right, what did it say here? How much training is too much training? Well, there's no such thing as too much training, period. Because training is practicing, and you can't practice too much. Unless, of course, I guess you practice to the point where you're burnt out and you just don't want to shoot anymore and all that stuff. Well, then, yeah, don't make it a chore. But there's no such thing as too much when you're just talking about, like, when are your skills going to be too developed? Now, I do believe you can train for the wrong thing. Like these guys that always practice the fast draw. And we're, like they'll stand in, they'll turn around and fast draw. I'm like, well, you're just conditioning yourself that the next time in a bar, someone taps you on the shoulder, and you take it the wrong way, you're going to spin around, draw your gun, shoot them in the face before you even realize what you're doing. Like that don't seem like a way for real world people to train. So you can train for the wrong things, but I don't think there's too much training. Because it's like then there's too much practice. And no, you can never practice enough. There's too much relying on training. Like you're like, well, I went to 10 training classes. I know exactly what I'm doing. Well, have you practiced it afterwards? If you haven't, then you probably not retained any of it. Let's see here. Let me go on. Jeffrey Vaughn chimed in, paid his $2 tithe to Phil, took advantage of that guarantee we're offering right now. Why bother to get silencers if they don't get used? Well, most people I'm sure use their silencers. I just got some, and I don't. Every time I think I'm going to take it out and shoot it, I'm like, oh, that's just one more thing to clean. And I'm just like, nah, no thanks. I just rather wear headgear, which I have sometimes forget to put on. But yeah, just no thanks. No thank you. Caden shoots one. He has one on his 22. He goes down and shoots it. He likes to go down and shoot that. Makes him feel like a spy. I think he goes down there and plays 007 or whatever their modern equivalent is. Let's see here. That was Jeffrey Vaughn. John Heasley chimed in and said, I want that knife, please. I am going to buy a Walther PDP next. Not sure if I should spend the extra for a steel frame or just stick to the polymer frame. Oh, if it was me, I would definitely get the steel frame. I want one of the PDP steel frames, even though I'm not a big striker fire gun guy. I've got one of the steel frame AXG, the P320s. I've got the Q5 and the Q4 in the steel frame. Now, I will say they are tanks. They are very heavy because they use all steel. This one is I think aluminum, maybe, the AXG. But I would rather have an aluminum frame PDP than steel. But because the steel Walther frames are just heavy as hell. And one of them I've got the brass grips on right there. And that thing, with those brass grips on it, it's like a boat anchor. I think I could tie it to my car to keep it from rolling down the driveway. Use it as like an anchor. Caden did that last night. He didn't set his brake fully, and his car rolled down the hill. Luckily, we were outside, and he saw it, and he got behind it and kept it from going anywhere where it did any damage to itself. It did knock over one of our trees, one of our young trees, but I was able to pull it back up, put it in position, stake it, so it should be fine, but he forgot to put his parking brake on, and he didn't put it in first. I've told him always, when you park on a slant up, when you're facing upward, you put in first gear when you park. If you're facing downwards, you turn your wheels towards the curb and put it in reverse when you park. If you're uphill, you turn your wheels to the back side of your wheels to the curb. If you have one, if you don't, you just put it first. But I guess he didn't listen. He just forgot. He was in a hurry, and I think he was being pissy because I made him stop and get me watermelons. But I got totally off the topic there, didn't I? That was John Heasley. Mikey D chimed in and said, For a shot at this Bobcat giveaway, other entries plus a stab at another knife Yankee cut himself with. LOL, maybe between the two, I'll get enough DNA to clone me a Yankee. Well, you should be enough blood on the first one I cut myself with to do that. Don't take a lot of DNA to clone somebody. Don't know why you'd want a clone of me, but I mean, when I was younger, I was good looking. I could, you could whore me out or something, I guess. If my clone doesn't have moral objections to it, and let's face it, if he's my clone, he's probably not going to have moral objections to much. So, yeah, I mean, it's possible. You do it. Do it to it. Where was I at? What was I talking about? Let's see where that was Mikey D chiming in over there. Kevin Payton paid a $2 tithe to Phil, took advantage of the guarantee, and said, "All hail, Phil. I am covered from Lyme's disease. Yesterday, I need coverage from scrotum rot and head cheese." Ugh, it's gross. Don't say head cheese. That's gross. See, there is something I do have a problem with. I don't say head cheese. Now you've made me say it like 2 or 3 times. Don't say it. It's gross. If you shower, take care of yourself. You don't ever suffer from that. Just clean under that thing every now and then. Let's see, where was I at? That was Kevin Payton. Colin Hepburn. Wait, did I read Kevin Payton's? I think I read Kevin Payton's. Yes, I did. Colin Hepburn chimed in and said, "Leave a super chat for Yankee because shipping is too damn much." Yes, it is expensive, the shipping on these knives and stuff. Hell, it takes like $7 or $8 to mail patch. It takes like $10 to mail a knife. But you think it'd be a bigger difference than that. I mean, it's just a fucking patch. I got to quit putting them in padded envelopes, so maybe it will be cheaper to ship them. Clint Harrison, not Clinton, Clint Harrison, donated and said, "Pets and Vets, hail Phil, Smith & Wesson 442, 642, or Taurus 856 for carry." Oh, well, the Smith & Wesson. But I would suggest getting the 432. Well, those are the nicer ones now. They make the newer ones that don't have the lock and they got an actual front sight, and they're in 32 H&R Magnum. So I'd do that. That's what I'd do. If you're asking me, and you obviously are asking me, I would say that. Now, the Taurus is not a bad gun at all, but those new Smiths are pretty nice. Clinton Barella, who I think is wanting that knife pretty bad. Has he not won one of these already? I thought he's won some knives. But he's got a lot of interest now. I'll have to look at that later. But, how much ammo do you shoot per gun session? How should one practice fry firing? I think he means dry firing to get proficient. I really want that knife. I can tell he got multiple entries. How to practice dry? Well, you just dry fire. You just practice. One of those little laser bullets makes it real nice because you can look at like small things around your house. And one of the things I do is I try to practice my point shooting that way. I don't use my sights. Like I'll fire a couple rounds and see how close I am on target, then try again. But it also helps you keep yourself level and trigger control right. Because like if you're trying to hit the toggle on a light switch across the room, that's a small target. You're going to have to have some finger control. So that's what I do for that. Now, how many rounds do I shoot per session? Depends. Since my range is right here on my property, I might go down there and shoot 5 rounds. I might just be like, hey, I want to see how this round feels in my revolver or whatever. I might go down and shoot 5, 6 rounds and be like, oh, well, found out what I needed and come back up. I might go down and be like, today I'm going to do these tests, and I might fire however many rounds it takes to do those tests and then go back up. Other days I might just go down and be like, I'm going to shoot a box of ammo. Depends on what gun it is, what I'm doing, what day it is. So there's no set number. And since it is so convenient for me, it's easy to do that. John and Mandrick chimed in again here and said, friend has a 1522 with an integral suppressor. If got carbon locked on, is there a high temp grease or anti-seize you can recommend? Oh, it got carbon locked on, I think is what he's saying. That the suppressor, someone has an integral suppressor on something and it got carbon locked on. Is there a high temp grease or anti-seize you can recommend? Not really. Like I say, I don't think any of those things are all that different. It's just like cleaning solutions and stuff. Grease is generally grease. If it's the same type of grease, it's the same type of grease. I don't really see like name brands making much of a difference. So just whatever. Just use whatever's appropriate to stop that from happening. And you should be fine. You should be fine. We got another chat coming in here from Sean Coleman. Looking into joining a local gun club, but you have to join the NRA. They won't let anybody join if you're not an NRA fanatic, and they wonder why people are not pro 2A. Yeah, I wouldn't join any range that required me to be a member of the NRA. I have in the past, but I would not these days. That's for sure. If you're going to put a requirement on me to come there and shoot, well, then I'm not going to come there and shoot. If you're going to force your own beliefs on me for me to come there and shoot, I'm not going to come there and shoot. I don't care if I agree with them completely. I don't care if you came in and you said, if I came up and said, hey, you can't shoot here unless you swear that you will never vote for a Republican or a Democrat. Well, I don't ever vote for a Republican or a Democrat. I always vote for an independent. But I'd be like, you're not going to tell me who to vote just so I can come shoot at your fucking range. So no, fuck that. Like I say, I don't care if I agree with it. They'd have, you don't get to dictate stuff to me. You're a business. I'm buying your product. You don't get to dictate to me how I live my life to buy your product. If you do that, I'm not buying your product. You can do it if you want, like I said, but the consequence of that is I won't buy your product. And I also tell everybody I know why I won't buy your product. So, yeah, I don't like it. Have to be an NRA member to join a range kind of garbage. You have to believe the way we believe and feel the way we feel and do what we say. No, I don't want to be that's a group I don't want to be a part of. I can think of a lot of cops who could use some of not that word again. Pencil deep up inside that. No, that's not good either. I can't read most of this. Most of this chat has been censored. It's from Officer Tater Hater. That should tell you why it's been censored. Censored by me. I'm not reading that. Not reading that at all. Remember, everybody, if you want to weigh in via the live chat, just go ahead and put in a comment in the live chat. Make sure you put out the Yankee Marshal in front of it. If you got pictures you want to send them to shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. I'm on the wrong. Here we go. Send them over to shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. Or if you want to donate to the Pets and Vets Fund, get entries into the drawings, use the link at the top. If you just want to pay tab to fill, use the link at the top. Also, at any time during the live chat, you can weigh in for our after chats topic tonight via the YouTube super chat, which keep your donations low. YouTube steals the money, but they set up that's where the only way we can do that. So if you want to do that, you can weigh in at any time via the YouTube super chat. And the topic tonight is, do you trust the police to protect your rights when it comes down to it? Do you trust them to put their badge down, their gun down, and walk away rather than violate your constitutional rights? Or will they care more about their pension and their cushy jobs than their big paychecks? All right. That looks like that's it for the super chats tonight. Let me get over to the emails. Let me see if there's any of those. I'm not. Oops. That's not what I'm looking for. Found out that my dad removed my mom from the deed from the house back in 2017. Had some choice words about my dad, so I will go through a lawyer and courts with the will. You're trying to get your mom back on the deed? Why? He's dead. I don't know. A nominal snowman sent in an email here. Doesn't got any pictures or anything. So went from making 140,000 a year trucking, working a job now 70 hours a week, no overtime, terrible benefits, and time off, having my paychecks shorted $100 to $400 a week. Could make 80 in a year. Thinking about going to the oil fields in northern Alaska and North Dakota and being homeless and living out of a truck full time. Thoughts? Why would you need to be homeless and live out of a truck? I mean, the oil fields pay pretty well. You could live in a minivan or get yourself a van, live that van life. Or buy yourself a little bit of property, put one of them tiny houses on it or something. I don't see what reason to become homeless. They paid well up there. Hard pill to swallow, working more for half the money. Dangerous job too. 3% of the company guys have died at work in the past year here. Can't get any other responses for jobs here. Well, move somewhere else. Be mobile. You're young. You're single. You don't got any attachment. If you want to go work oil fields, go work oil fields. Put that money away. Buy yourself a van. Live in it. A lot of people are very happy at the van life. You seem like somebody that would be okay with the van life. So give it a try. You're young still. You got time to try things and see if you like it. Yankee, look at this. Thousands of Audi cars abandoned in the Mojave Desert after cheating emissions test. Yeah, that's not surprising. Volkswagen, they're Volkswagens, and Volkswagen did that. So Colin Hepburn said he got his knife today, although the picture he sent will not load for some reason. It must be large. All right, now let me get over here to the live chat. See what's coming in over here. Good evening, ye old fartette. Yankee and knives do not mix. Yeah, I told y'all. I've told y'all that if it ever came down to saving myself with the knife, my fingers always have little cuts on them just from my own pocket knife and doing stuff every day. I've always got little cuts here and there. When I do videos, you can see them. I just don't. I would never use a knife as a defensive tool because I would probably murder myself accidentally. They're going to give you a strike. They did that in one chat, the chat where I actually sliced my finger and I showed y'all it was bleeding. That's why I didn't show you today. They gave me a chat for was it like violence or something in the thing? So yeah, they do crap like that. Could you share in the chat? No. Not sharing nasty memes. Gross. Where were we at? Well, we know how the feds will get you. Yankee died by cutting his own throat after falling out of a window and drowning in a river. I can swim. I'm a better swimmer nowadays than I was when I was younger. Because you got to remember, when I was younger, I was fit. And I'm not saying, I was fit because I was young. No, I was fit. I took care of myself. I ran, 5 or more miles a day. I was no body fat to be found. And I couldn't swim very well because I sunk like a rock. Now, I could swim, but it was tiring and I had to stay afloat all the time. Nowadays, I can just roll over on my back and I'm fine. I ain't going to sink. Or I can just stay straight up and my titties will keep me above the water. I'll bob right at the titty level. You'll think I'm standing on something. So I'm a better swimmer now than I used to be. Now I just got to move my arms or kick my feet and I go. Didn't used to be that way. Thoughts on Trump sending National Guard to Democrat cities? Overstep of power? Yes, that's an overstep of power. Also, I'm loving Alabama. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach are outstanding. Boiled peanuts too. Ugh, gross. Don't like boiled peanuts. I like peanuts, but I've had to lay off the peanuts because I used to love the peanut M&Ms and the chocolate covered peanuts. I like the peanut M&Ms especially. And every time we go to the movies, I'd get the peanut M&Ms. And then the last couple times, last several times I did it, I would get the peanut M&Ms. I would eat half the bag, and I'd be like, I can't feel my mouth. My mouth's all numb and tingly. Can't feel my tongue. So I told that to the doctor. He said, quit eating peanuts. You're developing an allergy. So I laid off the peanuts, the legumes, or whatever you call them. I don't know what that was in response to, but what brought that up? Oh, boiled peanuts. I don't like boiled peanuts. Many in Alabama have their own backyard fishing ponds they stock with fish. Yeah, we used to stock one of ours back home. We don't live in Alabama, but we used to stock ours. But we live in the middle of a game reserve, and they do stock the ponds in the game reserve. So we always had a place to fish if we wanted to. They stock them because people fish them like crazy, and there's no natural inlets to them. They're in a locked area, so lots of swampy area, lots of ponds. There's quicksand. I always thought quicksand would be a bigger problem when I was an adult, but I haven't run into it now. But when I was younger, we used to get cows stuck in it every now and then. More than once, we'd have to go get the tractor and some rope or chain and drag a cow out of the quicksand, because they don't sink all the way in the quicksand. They sink up to about their belly, and then they stop going down because they're all spread out. But their feet go in real quick, and then they just stop. So they're not going to drown or nothing, but they ain't getting out. So you got to go get a tractor and pull them out. People, you're not going to sink in quicksand either. If the moment your feet touched it, you just laid over on your side and scooched along, you're not going to drown. So you're not going to get sucked under. Andrew P. said, stop hating cops. No, I don't like what law enforcement's become. I think we'll stop calling it out. Not going to stop, not going to do it. I will always speak truth to power. After a few years, you could make $120,000 as a trucker with high school, but that was until recently. The job market sucks now. I'm working 70-hour weeks and won't break $80,000 this year. Yeah, cops make way more than that. You'd have to do absolutely be a member of a shitty police department and do nothing around here to make just $80,000 a year. And $80,000 is good pay. Most people, I'd be happy with $80,000 a year. When I was working, I almost never made $80,000 a year. When I was working in my profession as a psychologist, never came close to $80,000 a year. I didn't start making good money till I started doing stuff on the side. Like I had side gigs, like started off with building custom furniture, which moved into flipping homes and flipping houses, and then buying bars and stuff like that, and doing developments for property. That's when I started making good money. But even more than a police officer. But as my profession with a 6-year degree in psychology, I didn't make $80,000 a year. The cops I knew did, but I didn't. All right, let's see. Joe Pearson chimed in from Iowa and said, I leave for a 9-day vacation on Monday. Which gun should I use as my vacation gun? A Colt Cobra, Smith & Wesson 69, or Sauer P226? Oh, I'd probably go with the Colt Cobra. It seems like that's the smaller of all the things you've mentioned. Much easier to pack around and use. I'd go with the Cobra. So yeah, that's Cobra. That's my vote. Cobra. I remember when Cobra Commander would scream that. which I never understood why they did that. I mean, like if you run in to rob a bank, you don't scream your name. You know, terrorist groups don't scream their name before they do something. John Heasley said, bullshit. I want that knife, so you will send me my card knife. I will send you your card knife eventually. But that was John Heasley there and Joe Pearson. Yankee was a cop for about 45 minutes before quitting. It was a lot longer than that, unfortunately, but not a lot longer. It was horrible. It was absolutely terrible. And it wasn't as bad then as it is now. Back then, like I said, remember, I've gone through the process twice. I went through it the first time, and it was different. It's like when the psych evals and the training and the questions to get hired, those were all like, how well do you evaluate a situation? How well do you think on your feet? How well are you able to de-escalate a problem? How well are you able to do this and that? And then when I went through it again several years ago, everything they asked was about how well do you follow orders? How loyal are you to authority? How likely are you to squeal on a fellow officer? I mean, it was literally questions like, you're with your sergeant and he backs out of the parking space and runs over a dog. He said, oh, I know the owner of this dog. I'll take care of it. Do you tell someone? And then a week later, he hasn't notified anyone about the dog and you see missing dog posters up. Do you call the people about the dog and tell them your sergeant ran over him? Do you report it to your superior? Or do you say, he's my next in line in my chain of command, I'll let him handle it? That was a legitimate question. So, it's clearly all about, will you be a good soldier? Will you do as you're told? Will you not think on your own nowadays? So fuck the police. Got a couple questions coming in over here that I don't think have to do with the actual after chat. Remember, you can chime in now for the shooting the shit with Yankee. Topic is, do you trust the police to protect your rights or to protect their own jobs, pensions, retirements, etc.? But we got a couple questions over here I don't think are about the subject. I bought that sheepdog shirt. I think a couple people have bought it. Yes. I don't think we've sold a lot of them, but we've sold a couple of them. Or do you mean today? Because I didn't look today. Oh, yeah, it looks like he means today. He bought it today. I like peanut butter sandwiches on whole wheat. That was John He's the first one, and then that was Jumping Killer Ox. I like peanut butter sandwiches. What's this doing this? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Let me get over to the right thing here. John Mandrick said, some will, some won't. We won't know till it happens. Oh, that's for the chat tonight. Hold on. That's I bought the sheepdog shirt. I was trying to get rid of that. Let's see, where are we at? Sad watching the Subaru disappear. Know you had a lot of blood and sweat in her. Yes, I did. I like that car. That was a good car. What model knife? Pigar is asking. It's the Cold Steel. I'm not opening it again. It's the Cold Steel SRKC. If you want to look it up, but it's Cold Steel. Where are we at? I think all the rest over here are for the after chat now. Yep, okay. Or wait, I thought I saw one that was not for the after chat. Where did it go? I thought Andrew P put one in, or maybe I was wrong. Let me look and see. I don't see it. Maybe I was seeing things. I don't know. No, here it is. No, that's Johnny Mandrick. I thought that was Andrew P. All right. Let me get back to the questions over here now. A few years ago, you could make 120. I read that, didn't I? A grown man who shot two unarmed teenage Mormon girls in the back with his BB gun as they were fleeing his property. I mean, that's not like deadly force or anything. It's just a BB gun. Me and my brothers and sisters would shoot each other with our BB guns all the time. We'd pump that thing till that bladder was about ready to explode and shoot each other with them. What's wrong with pig brains? I'm not a fan of pig brains or peanuts. Well, I mean, I like peanuts, but I'm not allergic to pig brains. Thoughts on the Ross's circuit judge revolver rifle thing? I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I think it's interesting. I would own one if I saw one and had the money and I could afford it. But yeah, I like them. I think they're pretty cool. I was at dinner. Did you read my comments? I think so. Speaking of the NRA, what happened to Coulion Noir? I noticed Coulion Noir is shilling for USCCA now. These guys don't ever go away. They just go where the money is. You know, it used to be the money was with the NRA. Now the money's with things like USCCA. I mean, I'm sure they get a huge payoff. That guy's mega rich now from that. And I've always supported them. Although I've heard lately a few cases of them not paying off on their benefits. Like when someone got in trouble, they did not pay off. So question on that, I got to do a little more research into that. There's a lady that they didn't pay and a guy they didn't pay. So when they were found to be innocent and they spent a fortune on was supposed to be paid up front by the company that didn't get paid. And I know that if he did put in claims, he would run the risk of that policy getting canceled, I guess. But he's made millions and millions and millions of dollars off of it. So I hope he's paying out. And also that's where Coulion Noir is now, USCCA. Amen, brother. I don't know to what. My gun club in Massachusetts and when I lived in Indiana required NRA membership at SAG. I don't agree with it. Housing in the oil field is brutally bad and overpriced. Well, that's why I said you get yourself a Sprinter van or something. Payment on a Sprinter van ain't super high. You live in your Sprinter van, save all your money, and see where you're at in a few years and what you want to do. Hell, it might even lead to a better job. You don't know. You never know till you try, and you're at the age where you can try whatever you want to try. You still got the chance. Is that a question? Awesome. I missed it, I guess. So I used to have my FFL at my clinic, but I let it go because I wasn't enough transfers to pay for it. Here's a copy of it, and that's good enough for you if you need me to pick a gun store with a current FFL. Well, I can't ship it, so it would have to be whatever's good with. When did this expire? Because it'll have to be what's good with. Yeah, you'll have to send me a gun store because it's going to be coming from Sporting Systems. I don't ship it. If I don't care about the fucking laws usually myself, but I don't have possession of it. I ain't shipping it. So just send me the name of a FFL locally you want to use, and I will send it directly over to them because they've been bugging me about when I was going to get your information. Van life is becoming illegal more and more these days. Actually, I think small living is getting more and more legal. More and more places you can actually park now. So, 10-day wait for break action shotgun. I sent pics once I finally get it. You'll be very, very mad. Bought a case of 12 gauge birdshot. They scammed my license to send to the state and also took my phone number. The system required a scan of my license for each box. What a load of fucking bullshit. Washington sucks so much now. Yeah, I've never had that happen. Did you buy it at a big box store? I've never had my license scanned for ammo. So I don't know if that's, I don't think I've ever, and I bought ammo recently. That's probably the store. Where was I at here? What time is it? Oh, it's almost time to move on. So we're going to close this up. Make sure I'm caught up with the super chats over here. We got to move on to the Merc, to the shooting the shit with Yankee. Let me make sure I'm all caught up with everything. I do believe John Heasley was the last one. And I am going to wait till the end of the shooting the shit to do the drawing tonight. It was real awkward doing it in the middle last night. So if you want to send in, keep in mind, though, that while we're doing shooting the shit, I won't be answering PayPal chats. So if you're if you're just wanting an entry into the drawing, fine. If you're wanting, to pay your tithe to Phil, fine, but it won't be part of the conversation. So I assume that that's it for that over there tonight. We will do the drawing at the end of shooting the shit because, like I said, it was really awkward last night. Mikey D was actually right for once about when we should do it. My nose is itching. But I'm going to go grab another soda real quick and piddle, and I come back. We will do shooting the shit with Yankee.